Hi, I'd like to speak against the motion that India's foreign policy is in line with its global ambitions. At the outset, I'd like to say that the three questions raised for the Youth Parliament are in a sense interlinked, and that weaknesses in politics or in the economy have a great role to play in the framing of foreign policy. But I'd like to raise two issues in a sense going outwards from India and beginning with our borders. Now, we live in a difficult environment with conflicts with China and with Pakistan, but we must not lose sight of the fact that it is in India's vital interest to have good relations with our other neighbors. Cases in point here are Bangladesh and Myanmar. Now, with Bangladesh, India is on the verge of losing a historic opportunity to sign a land border agreement with a very pro-India government in Dhaka that has expended much political capital on this issue. And in my view, this border agreement is eminently sensible, the only solution that is possible, and would seal this question for eternity, and also would provide the opportunity for better integration of the northeast of our country with the rest of the mainland India. Again, with Myanmar, we have been very slow to take advantage of the opening up of the country and promote economic ties between the northeast and Myanmar, losing sight of the fact that Myanmar is in a sense a stepping stone for India to get more integrated with ASEAN, which is a very fast-growing region in Asia. And this, in a sense, is a symptom of a deeper malaise. That is that India's foreign policy is understaffed. India's foreign service has only about 900 or so officers, as outlined by Shashi Tharoor in a very detailed and interesting article in the Caravan about a year ago. And the consequence of this is that we just do not have the right number of people in emerging markets in Latin America or in Africa or even in Southeast Asia. Now, India's strength is in soft power, and this can be sent around the world through non-governmental means and also through the private sector. But this requires to be complemented by a concerted effort to ensure that India's economic agenda is also taken care of. We have better trade with these places, and we can secure oil and so on, which are vital resources that India needs for its growth. This is further compounded by the fact that a lot of our bureaucrats do not necessarily have the right training for the jobs they need. Increasingly, foreign policy is getting mixed with economic policy, and a lot of our diplomats are not skilled in this area. And this is where the lack of lateral entry, the lack of allowing experts from outside who are not from the IFS, but who have the skills that the IFS desperately needs, and by not allowing them to contribute to the framing of policy, we are in a sense hindering India's maturing of India's foreign policy outlook that would bring it in line with our ambitions.